Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you are here. And if you're new to the channel, hey, I am April and I love doing videos all in the sharing of motivation, inspiration, and mentorship. And I am so glad that you are here today. And I'm so glad to be actually doing this video because today's video is going to be start of a new series on the channel. That's right, a new series on the channel. And I actually briefly spoke about this series in a sense that I wanted to have an opportunity to bring on individuals as guests onto my channel to talk about whatever and whenever. So yeah, I just thought it would be a real nice opportunity to come in and just start off the first of 2022, which we're a little bit later in it, I do realize, to bring on this particular series. So I do hope that you enjoy. It is a very relaxed video. So, go ahead and make sure that you are getting yourself snuggled in, sit down comfortably, get yourself a drink of whatever you like, whatever that may be, and make sure that you just relax and just enjoy and have fun. I thought it'd be a great opportunity with this video because I do hope that Mia will actually come back in the future for other Let's Chat videos. So it thought it'd be nice to do a little bit of an icebreaker questionnaire. And yeah, so these are questions that we'll be asking each other. We don't know what the questions are going to be. And so I think it's going to be kind of fun because you get to know a little bit about me and a little bit about her. So yeah, and also I would love for you to be a part of that as well. So, as questions are kind of being shot between both of us, go ahead and drop in the comment section, maybe some of the answers that you would answer for those questions if you feel comfortable. It'd be just really fun to see what the community is thinking about. And, maybe we could just kind of start a conversation in the comment section. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it. So without further ado, I'm going to bring her back on. And when I say bring her back on, she wasn't on in the first place, right? We're going to bring her on. So 1 second. Hey, Mia.
Hello, April. Hello to the Motivation Suite community.
We're so excited to have you here. So excited.
Yes, and I am excited to be here.
So now I hadn't gotten a chance to really go in and give you the biggest introduction that I want to give because I wanted you to come on here and actually hear it.
Well, thank you so much.
You are so welcome. So everybody, I just wanted to share that I have spoken about Mia in a prior video. If you haven't gotten a chance to go out there and check that video out, that was a season of change. So just go out there and take a look. I did a nice little roundup of information of some great things that she's working on because we had a nice live a couple of months ago. But for those who may not had an opportunity to see that video, well, here's an opportunity to see the woman boss lady in the flesh. So yes. So Mia is actually, I guess, a boss lady of all things, but in particular, she is the CEO and founder of Women Doing Our Own Thing. And it's a great opportunity and where she is helping women, empowering them into doing and living their best lives in so many modalities. So we're just so excited to have you on here, Mia. And I'm just I'm hoping that you will do this again.
Absolutely, yes.
So I was telling the community that we were going to make this video a little bit of a icebreaker so that we can kind of get to know each other a little bit.
Okay.
So I hope that will be, a lot of fun. And so, yeah, and again, everybody, please make sure that you drop those answers in the comment section. If any answers you want to give to those questions for yourself, or I will also be dropping the link in which I've got some of these questions from. So if you want to, play along with somebody you love, you can do that, so it's all kind of fun. So are you ready, Mia?
I am ready.
Yay! So now, do you want me to go first?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So let's see. And I may have to put on my glasses because I was trying to be cute. Let's see. Okay. Are you ready for this?
I am ready.
All right. First question. What was the best year of your life?
Wow, that is a wonderful question. What was the best year of my life? I'm going to say I've had many great years of my life. And to be quite honest with you, I don't know if I've had my best year yet.
Ah.
I'm still growing, I'm still developing, I'm still learning. And honestly, I just live every day as if it's my last. So I don't think I've gotten to my best year yet. I'm
I love
hoping that my best years are to come.
Oh, I love that answer. I really do. Because I was sitting there thinking about it for myself. I was like, yeah, I don't know if it's happened yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We get better with time. We get better with time.
Yes, we do. Fine wine, fine wine. That's a good answer. That's a really good answer. And it's wonderful because, like you said, we never stop growing, we never stop evolving.
Absolutely.
And I think it's so nice when we take opportunities that we are given and we run with them and we just create things.
Yes,
sometimes out of nowhere.
Yes.
So I love that. I love that. It's one of those things that it kind of doesn't strap you into any time that's happened in the past. It gives you inspiration to keep moving forward because the best is yet to come, as they say. So
it is.
That's
yes,
really
it
fun.
is. Yes. And it's amazing that you asked me that question because I think about how this is Women's History Month. Ironically, that we're doing this.
Yes.
And there's many things that women have achieved and accomplished throughout history, and we are still evolving.
Yes.
Even though we've come a long way, even though we've done some monumental things that we should be proud of, we still have so many barriers that we have to tear down.
Yes.
And so, as I thought about that question, that really was the first thing that resonated in my mind. This is Women's History Month, and we are continually leaving a legacy for somebody else.
Absolutely. Y'all, I told y'all she was like the boss lady of everything. Walk that walk and speak that talk. I love it. And yes, and that's what is, honestly, this is the first year, I'm really full transparency, the first year that I've really taken stock of just really taking in the fact that this is Women's Month. I think with everything that's been going on over the last couple of years, there's been so many things brought to light for a lot of us. I think, trying to chart new ways or maybe more enhanced ways of existing. And so everything, holidays, any type of days that actually just spotlight any group is just really met with a lot more intent and thinking. And, it hits differently. It just hits differently. So,
yes, it does.
So like I've been running around telling my hubby that, look, it's Women's International Day, which was a couple days ago. He's like, yeah, I know. Like, anything I say goes.
Girl power.
Yes. And then also I told him, and then, but I thought it was so cute how he responded to that. Like, really, oh, that's cool. I said, yeah, you do know it lasts all month though, right? The whole month. And he seemed to be okay with that too. So, but look, hey, he ain't got no choice, all right?
He's a great man. He's a great man, a great American.
There you go. Well, more of that. All right, so I'm ready for my first question. I'm scared, but I'm ready.
Oh my goodness, don't be afraid. We're friends. We've been friends for a while, over 25 years now. So I don't think there's too much that we could talk about that is, anything to be scared of, All righty. So let me see. I think this would actually be a really fun question. What would you consider to be the biggest accomplishment that you've had in your life?
Ooh, that's a really good one. Oh my gosh, the biggest accomplishment. Honestly, I would say I don't think it's happened yet. I really don't.
Are you copying me?
No, I'm really not. I'm really not. And let me tell you why. But I am going to give you an accomplishment that it was really great for me. And so I will give that, right? So I won't like step outside and say, I don't have one for you. But one, I think for me, honestly, really was in my military time. Now there's lots of great moments. So I know there's a lot, different people are gonna be watching this. So I don't want to take from anything or any experience that maybe someone has been a part of that's maybe watching. But there's one that's dear to my heart, and is the time frame of being in the military and getting step promoted. That was a pretty big deal. It was in the newspaper and everything. So, hey, And I don't think, even though I was kind of in a haze at the moment that was happening, and for those you in the community that don't know what step promotions are, it's basically 1% of whatever group at that time that you're being promoted to the next level is like 1% of the military at that time. In my case, it's the Air Force. And so it is an opportunity for you to be promoted up without necessarily having to promote through testing, which is how we normally do promote. Now, of course, initially you will have tested at least maybe once, but that would be the requirement at that time. There might be things that are different now, but it's a pretty big deal. And, I have to find that newspaper with a clip in it, but that was a really big accomplishment. I've been one that, how you just be working all the time. You don't really, you don't wait around for accolades or anything like that. You just do what you have to do. But when I read that write-up, I was like, yeah, I did that. You know what I'm saying? So that was a really big accomplishment. My gosh, there's been quite a bit, but my biggest one, I don't think hasn't happened yet. I really do feel that the biggest things are yet to come in that arena, because there's so many things that I'm working on right now project wise, and they're building blocks from those other points. But as far as one that's already happened, most definitely, what is that a word? Definitely is that step promotion. And oh my gosh, I don't want to tear up, because that was like a really big deal, man. They had cameras and everything, like this whole bunch of people were watching and stuff. It was amazing. And it's in a paper, like a newspaper, and it's for something good. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's all right. I got to find that newspaper though, and then I'm gonna put it on the wall, because I need that as continued motivation for other things. So
absolutely, yes.
Right? Sometimes it's funny, and for all of y'all know, Mia is also a veteran, so she knows exactly all the things I'm talking about. When we get our awards and such, and at the time you're so humbled when you're getting them. But I tell you what, those things are motivations. To have your little statuettes and plaques and stuff, put them around you for moments when you kind of feeling like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm going to make it through another day doing whatever I'm doing. And you look at the thing, you know what I'm saying? You're like, look,
absolutely,
you accomplished this, so you're going to be able to do this. So all of that channeling is really helpful. So I'm so glad that I still have all of them. And I don't know, I'm going to probably put a shrine to myself here in the studio. So look, you got to get motivation, inspiration, and mentorship wherever you can, even
absolutely,
if you're doing it yourself.
Yes, that is so true. That's so true. Oftentimes we have to encourage ourselves because there's not anyone else to encourage us. So that's so true.
That is such a good point, Julie. That a lot of times when we talk about mentorship, for instance, the concept is whenever you're going into some type of project or profession or anything you want to do, sometimes they'll say, look, try to find yourself someone who you could admire to help you in that particular arena. Someone who may be already doing it, or someone you trust. Sometimes you may be in a situation where there might not be anyone around you. And so I think that one of the best lessons learned is to pull from yourself by past experiences. Because you were able to do X, Y, and Z. And I'm pretty sure at that time, you probably thought you couldn't get through that, but you did.
So true. Yes.
Use that until you find that mentor that can take you to the next level. Sometimes it is just that way. You'd be surprised. I mean, it's kind of the same thing too, like I think about, and it's like a little bit of a sidetrack a little bit, but I think about weight and stuff like that, right? That's a really big triggering situation, right? But just look at the perspective of when we're talking about, hey, if we want to get fit and everything and look a certain way or look like a certain person, how about you just find a picture of what you look like at the time you were happy and use that, as motivation, use yourself as inspiration. So
that's true.
Just an example, and because sometimes we're always looking outside, external to us, and sometimes what really is going to help you is what's internal to you. And I think that's really important,
Absolutely.
So,
absolutely. Yes.
You're taking me down memory lane, man. All right, so let's see. Next question. Let's see. Okay, hold on, because I had it right here. Hold on. Because you took that was a good one. That was really good. Okay, here's one. What TV series could you watch several times?
Wow, that's a great question, because now I'm at a point in my life, I don't watch a whole lot of TV. I don't watch a lot of TV, but I will say that if I had to pick a TV series, it would absolutely be House Hunters. I love House Hunters.
Yeah.
I absolutely love House Hunters International.
Yeah.
And just a quick
international.
fact, yes, and just a quick little fact, I applied for House Hunters and was chosen.
I told you y'all should boss everything. Like, I don't know if anybody's been chosen for no HGTV. I mean, really.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Your story. Go and tell it, girl. Go and tell it.
So it was just something that happened that I was not expecting to happen. I was watching it and I said, you know what? I should apply for that. And, you know, oftentimes I apply for things, never get picked. So I didn't think anything about it. And sure enough, I got an email from House Hunters that I had been selected. I almost lost my mind. And I believe I actually called you that night. It was a little bit late. And I was screaming on the phone. And you said, what in the world is going on? And I told you. So it was just really an exciting moment. But the unfortunate part is that when I got chosen, it was right when COVID started.
Yeah.
So I was not able to go through with the process. The actual producer of the show, she called me directly to apologize and to let me know that she was sorry that unfortunately that the crew would not be able to come to the area and to do the show. But it was still a very, very special time. So yeah, maybe I'll get to get on HGTV again for something else.
Yeah, for the next house, maybe, if that's what it is.
You never know. You never know.
You know, shoot, like second house, whenever that happens.
Yes.
Then that's a pretty, cool TV show though, because we love the House Hunters. I mean, House Hunters is like really an iconic favorite. I mean, it really is. I mean, I remember when I started watching House Hunters, like, oh gosh, it was some years ago, but it's like the first episode I watched, and I could not get enough of it. And I would make sure I was at home in time for that 7, and then it was like for only half an hour. And then it was like 7 to 8, and I was like, oh yeah. And I love International too. I do too.
I do too. Yes.
Yeah, House Hunters was it, man. That was the thing. That was the show.
Yes.
It's the show, really. It's fun to watch people's dreams come true.
Yes, it is. It really is.
And it also helps, like, because when I was watching that, like seriously watching it, it was before I got my own home. So it was nice to see different things that you might want to think about,
That's true. That's true.
Own process. So yeah,
that's so true.
I love a learning show that, you can have fun watching it. It's great. Yeah, that's great. All right. I'm ready for your next one. Ooh, let's go.
Okay. All righty. Let me see. What am I going to ask you? Okay, here's a good one.
Okay.
Who would you say would be a role model in your life?
That's a hard one. Oh my gosh. Oh, who would be a role model? Oh my gosh. I had one probably in the earlier years, and then I adjusted it and it kept, moved on to something else. So, that's a hard one. Okay, that's a hard one.
That's interesting that you find it to be a hard question. I mean, that just kind of goes to show that in our society today, it's hard to have a positive role model. Yeah. And unfortunately, that's just kind of the way we are right now.
Yeah. So can this be the point where I thank myself for all the things that I've done and all the hard work?
Absolutely. You can do that. Yes, sure. Why not?
Okay, that's true, dog. I'm thanking myself. No, really, straight up. It's a difficult question for me because I think there's been different individuals who have been different, role models for me at different points in my life and for different things. And so it's been really hard to kind of sum it up all into one person. So here's this. I'm going to name maybe a couple of people.
Sure.
Because they're important people to me. Okay, I'm going to name 3. Can I do 3?
Sure, absolutely. Why not?
It's our show, so. Okay, so the first one, I would start off with my mom. And I think that one of the things that I really appreciate and admire about my mom is her go-getterness to do things that may seem impossible. And she doesn't really have to necessarily think about things, in totality. She can kind of get a couple of things and then move forward with it. And I think that's a really admiring quality. So kind of going after what you want is, I think, really a pinnacle point in my journey. Being able to kind of step outside of myself, whether it be my fears or my possibly insecurities of certain things, really wondering, can I really do this? Because who am I to really think that I can actually do this kind of thing? And so I feel like for that, she really kind of placed that in me to, sometimes just say, you know what, stop listening to the noise, because sometimes the noise can come from you, and just move, just move. And so I think that is one, there's many traits, but as far as like when I'm looking at what has helped me in my journey, that is one major thing, because that helps you to move from one next thing to the other, and not getting necessarily stuck in whatever may not be serving you anymore. So that's one. Another person that I admire is one of my good friends, Bridget. I have known Bridget since I was 11, 12, I believe. And yeah, and she's just a beautiful person inside and out. And she was one of those individuals that, of course, at a young age, that you told all your secrets to. So, and so, there's a lot of coming of age time, things going on at that time. And so she was someone that is such a important person in my life. And she was also somebody who came into my life at a time that I needed someone to come into my life. You know what I'm saying?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So for that point, she will always be like that sister from another mother concept.
Yes.
We became really fast friends. And I honestly, we lived like, we were both, when I was in the military, for those that don't know, well, everybody should know right now, right? I've said it a few times. But I used to live in England, and we were stationed and lived in the city of Ipswich. So if anybody out here is watching from Ipswich, hey, I used to live there. And that we lived like 5 minutes away. And we went to the same school, so we're on the same bus. And for the first 3 months or so, we never we spoke or anything, just hi, that's it. And one day, I sat on the bus, and I think she was having a bit of a day with another person, and she just sat down and started talking to me, and from that point, we were kind of inseparable, And one thing that is such a beautiful thing for me, especially growing up in the military, is when I find people who are special in that way for me, because you're constantly moving and relocating, and honestly, there's a lot of things and people that are like fade to black for me. I couldn't tell you what happened as far as they're in my life one minute, the next minute, we're someplace else, and I don't really remember saying goodbye or anything.
Oh wow, yes. Yeah,
it's kind of weird. I laugh when I talk to some of the people who are better at remembering things, and I'm like, I don't remember what happened to that person. It's like fade to black. That's just what it feels like, and that's one of the things that happens in the military, especially when you're growing up in it. You just kind of get to the new place, and you just acclimate, and you just move forward. You meet new people, you keep going, but she was the one that stuck with me forever.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And to the point that when I decided to join the military, which was absolutely nothing I was ever going to do, and she had actually left, because we lived together at the same time in England. I joined the military out of Germany. And so she was in the States at that time, and she had wrote me a letter, ironically, a couple of weeks. God is really, he's funny like that, right? So she does. I haven't talked to her in years, and it's not from anything other than just time. And then all of a sudden, I don't even know how she got my address. I don't even remember, but she did. And 3 weeks before I left, she had wrote to me, and I was like, oh, that's so great. And I had gotten so caught up in getting ready to go for the military, and I didn't get a chance to write her back.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, and I regretted that. And so I was like, oh man. And then I couldn't find the letter. So I didn't have her address. And back then we didn't have Facebook and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
So I was thinking about getting like a private investigator to go and find her, because
oh my goodness.
yeah, that's how, like, I always had this draw to reconnect. And then Facebook then became invented and that's no longer. And now we're like, oh, it's like we were just talking about this a couple days ago. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like we talk, and we were talking about new things and lots of stuff happened, but it's like we just left off from wherever, and we just,
Right.
so that's what it was. And then my third person, well, of course, would be you, my dear.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
Because you have been there my entire adult life.
Wow. Wow.
And I'm not saying this because you're a special guest. I'm saying this because I love you, and I'm saying this because you are and have always been someone to admire. I mean, the things that you have accomplished, the things that you have, endured, is awe-inspiring that you are where you are today. And a lot of things that you have dealt with could break many people. And the fact that you have shown a lot of strength and courage and tenacity in a lot of what you have done and everything that you have done, it's just, I'm giving you your flowers now. Like,
oh, wow.
It's like this for you over here. Okay. I love you. And, at the end of the day, you're my sister from another mother.
Oh, thank you. That's so beautiful.
And we've been together for like, oh my gosh. Talk about coming of age. Bridget was my coming of age as a young, young girl, preteen, teenager. And in that time, and then I meet you into my early adult years, and then all the way until now. And so, it's just really been a blessing. That is one thing I'm so grateful for. And when it's time for me to go on to the other side, because I know I'm going up there. So when it comes time for, my part of my, there's ever an option anyways where he's like, is there anything you want to say? Like, I just want to say thank you for the people that you put into my life, because my God, I don't really know what my life would be like if you were not. And I often talk about what life would be if I was doing something different. I'm a Taurus. That's just what it is. We're always looking at doing whatever. And there's always going to be certain people that no matter what, if I had a different life's path, these are the people that would have to be part of that path. So, yeah.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. Wow, the stories we could tell.
Like, yeah. I would need a little bit more than agua.
That's a different show.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm talking late night. Maybe the comment sections would have to be off.
Oh wow.
Because we don't want to be judged. We're just going to share. Now, we had some good times, though. Yeah.
Oh, yes. We had some good times.
I would not change them. We had some really good times. Hey, I got some regrets and some decision making I made. But, hey, it is what it is. It's like, you live, and then, you go up there. It is what it is. But, yeah. Oh, my gosh. We've had some really great times. Yeah. All right, so whose turn is it? Is it my turn?
It's your turn to ask me.
What? Okay, here we
go.
Girl, you got me going back nostalgia. Like I didn't know that's what these kind of questions would do, though, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let's see. Oh, here we go. If you were given the chance to travel back to the past, where would you go?
If I was given the opportunity to travel back to the past, wow, I would want to go back to a time when things were a lot simpler, a time when things were a lot slower, a time when things were a lot more meaningful. Often I reflect upon a lot of the things that we took for granted and now we don't necessarily have. So when I think about, the past, there's so many things that it seems like went by so fast that I didn't really get a chance to enjoy it.
Yeah.
And now that, you know, we're in 2022, who would have ever even imagined 2022?
Yeah.
I remember it was 1999 and we were getting ready to go into 2000 and everyone was panicking because they thought that, you know, the world was going to come to an end. So,
Yeah.
you know, so here we are in 2022. Yes. So here we are in 2022 and I mean, we've come so far but you know, even with everything that we have, I kind of miss the simpler things. You know, I kind of miss, you know, just being able to sit around the table and have dinner with the family. I kind of miss talking on the telephone, having a conversation on the telephone. I mean,
even the rotary type phones.
I had the rotary type phone, had an extra long telephone cord because I dragged the phone all over the house. You know, so I'm
Why would you have to remember the person's phone number?
Yes. I actually still remember my home telephone number, believe it or not.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Number, yes.
I don't remember my phone number now. So that's amazing. You better hope I ain't got to call nobody. You better hope I have my phone.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, I remember that. Yes. So, but yeah, so I would want to go back to when things were a lot simpler. And you know, someone watching this may say, "Well, wow, you don't appreciate where we are now." Absolutely, I appreciate where we are now. I'm grateful for where we are now. But there's just some things that I tell you, wow, that I would love to just be able to, you know, I think about people that were in my life and are not here anymore. You know, you were kind of mentioning that there's so many people that, you know, imparted so much wisdom into me. And I didn't get a chance to say thank you because at that time I didn't realize how important what they were saying was. I think about some of the older, more seasoned women that would, you know, whenever they saw me, they had some type of word of encouragement. They had some type of life lesson that they would, you know, kind of share with me and keep it moving. Right. And, you know, as a kid, you know, you kind of say, oh, what is that old lady talking about? They don't know what they're talking about. And you went on about your business. But now I remember, ironically, I remember a lot of things that those ladies would say to me, and even some gentlemen too. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't get a chance to even say thank you. So yes, I would want to go back to those days and be able to see those people and experience those experiences all over again.
Yeah, the only one solace I think of for those that have gone before us, which is so difficult to even think of in the times of when they transitioned away, is that I always hold on to, I'm going to see you again, and we're going to have the biggest party. I already know I'm going to have a cottage up there. I don't know whose cottage, but I already know it's already been set. And I told the hubby that if I should go first, you can meet whoever you want after, but understand that you're coming up here with me. You remember that commercial with the Red Bull when she comes down? I think it's like, I don't know, I think it's at a mistress or something. Yes, we ain't gonna have no problems like that. You're forever spoken to take it. Everybody that I was hanging out with here, we're gonna be hanging out up there.
Oh my goodness, yes.
You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to hear no mess now. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't replace the feeling of how you feel when they do move on. It doesn't. It just doesn't. It's I always say it's just a new normal. It's not anything you will ever, in my opinion, anyways, you will ever get, to a point of where it just doesn't. It will hit you always, and you just have to learn a new way of existing. But we're gonna have a heck of a party. I know my knees will be good by then. Yeah. All right. So hit me with another one.
Okay. All righty. So I know we've been talking a lot about, blasts from the past and all those great things.
Yeah.
So what would you say is your most treasured possession?
Possession?
Yes.
My spirit.
Oh.
Yeah, you thought I was going to pick a tangible item, didn't you? My inner glow. No, for real though, that is. Yeah. It's so funny when we think about the things that we wish that we had, and we're always trying to, well, I don't say we're always trying to, but I don't know. There's many people who are not trying to have a better life, whatever that may be. Doesn't mean you don't appreciate what you have. It just means that you're always going to try to strive for making it more enhanced or better, whatever your scenario is. So, but you need to have things working for you to do that. And a lot of it, again, it's not always external. So I have a lot of beautiful things that I have acquired along the way, but I think that I kind of go a little bit introspective on that question, because I want to have something that I know I'll never lose.
That's a great answer.
Someone can't burglarize me for it. I will not drop it and leave it someplace and forget about it. It wouldn't require me washing my hands and then, oh my God, I can't find my rings, that kind of thing. So yeah, my spirit, my inner spirit is something that is a prized possession for me. And that really is, like, for real, like, I'm not joshing here. I'm really serious. That is really what it is. I feel so enlightened in this moment. That's a good question. Yeah, but I like all my stuff though, because I am a Taurus and I love the nice things. So I'm not missing anything that I've got that is tangible. I'm so grateful for it all, But it's something that will always be with me, and no one can ever take it, and no matter if I want to try to give it away, it's going to come back because it's mine. It's always mine. So yeah.
Yes.
That is so beautiful. All right, so let's see. All right, what's a good one here? There's a lot of good ones in here, but let me see. Okay, you ready? What is the best song to describe your life right now?
Oh my goodness! Wow. I'm going to say "Man in the Mirror" by Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to say "Man in the Mirror."
Michael Jackson song.
For those of you who don't know, I am the biggest Michael Jackson fan in the entire universe. So yes, it has to be something to the King of Pop.
He really is the biggest in the universe. I thought I love Michael Jackson, and I do. But yeah. Mia, she got me beat. Yeah. Yes, how about your story when you met an impersonator and how that experience was for you?
Oh my goodness. So unfortunately, I never got a chance to go to a Michael Jackson concert, never got to see him perform in person. But I did have an opportunity to go to Las Vegas, and there was a Michael Jackson live show that was there. If you ever go to Las Vegas and you get a chance to go, it is phenomenal. So I went to the show. It was in a very intimate setting, very nice hotel, but it was very intimate. So not a lot of people, but it was full. And when I tell you, it was just a vibe and an energy in that place. When Michael Jackson came on the stage, and it was just like, wow, I'm in heaven on earth right now. Because everybody in there loved him just as much as I did, and everybody was singing the songs. It was just such a positive energy in that place, and I just, I couldn't help but think, I just wish he was here. Yeah. So I'm excited, enjoying the music, crying all at the same time. So it was just a lot of emotion going on. But the awesome thing is that after the show was over, the gentleman who was actually imitating Michael Jackson, his name is Michael Firestone. So if you're watching, follow him. Michael Firestone is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. And I had a chance to meet him. He was still in costume, and very, very friendly, very approachable. And he's taking pictures with people and everything. And so when he came to me and I walked up to him, I was just in awe, because I'm not seeing him, I'm seeing Michael Jackson. Okay, guys, you have to understand that. And then so he was just so kind, and he smelled so good, guys. I'm telling you,
you just said the real Michael Jackson did smell really good.
And I was just like, it was just a lot. At the time, it was a lot going on at that time. And he smelled so good. And I just said, oh my goodness, you smell really good. And he pulled me closer to him. And I said, I don't know if you really want to do that. I was literally shaking. I was just like, I really want to do that. But he was nice. He kind of laughed it off. I'm sure he got that a lot.
Yeah.
And then so after the performance, he had cleaned up and came out, and I just hung around. There was a few people that hung around, got to talking to him, and he was from North Carolina. Really awesome guy. He studied arts. He studied dance and actually theater. So of course, Michael Jackson was, definitely someone he looked at as an icon, and he's impersonated him for years, but he is multi-talented. He's still performing out in Las Vegas. Again,
Really?
Michael Firestone.
Okay.
So if you're he's still performing out in Las Vegas. So look him up. Absolutely, go to one of his shows. It is great.
Oh,
so,
wow!
Shout out to Michael.
He'll love that shout out. Now I'll go ahead and put it in the comment section, description area. I think there was a platform on. I'll drop down this information for any of you guys out in the community that would be interested. And if you're taking yourself a little ride over to Las Vegas, he sounds like you'd be someone to watch. So yeah, that's amazing. And I remember you told me you actually teared up a little bit.
Oh yes, it was a lot of emotion going on that day, but he was very professional, very polite, and like I said, I'm sure he probably got that a lot, so he didn't really think too much about it. He was like, "Oh, okay, hi," and we got to talking. We actually exchanged Facebook information, so I'm a friend, a follower on Facebook. So yeah, every now and then he'll give me a little heart or something I say, and so it's kind of nice. He's a very nice person.
Oh, well, that is really cool. So yeah, I'll definitely leave that in the description area because that sounds fun. And if I ever get back on another plane again, and because Las Vegas is kind of one of those places that we like to kind of, it's like a playground, really. Then I will definitely have to check him out. Then if he's still doing that, I'll definitely have to check him out. Another person I want to see is Janet Jackson, though. I really do want to see her. Oh my God.
She's going to be at the Essence Festival this year.
I saw that they did a nice little notification a couple days ago. I was like, oh my gosh. And I think she's somewhat of a regular. Like, she would go at least a few times in the past before this whole COVID situation. And I know a couple people actually saw her in person, and I mean, pretty much like with everybody there, they just loved it. So that, I think, it's going to be on my bucket list to go to Essence. Maybe with something we can do. We'll see. We'll have to think about that. And I think that there's no sleeping going on though.
I can imagine it would not be.
All right, so I think we've asked 4 questions each so far.
I believe so.
Okay, and I just asked you this last one, or you asked me this one? No, you just answered this, right?
I did.
Right. So, oh God, no. Okay, here, I'm ready.
So is this our final question? Is this my final question? This is the last question. Oh my goodness. Okay, I gotta make this a good one. All righty. So
on the
list. Okay, so what would you say would be an extreme challenge that you have had to overcome?
Ooh, that's a good question. These are really good questions. These are thought-provoking questions. One of the greatest challenges I think I've had to overcome, honestly, is fear. And that's it's not something that I think I probably haven't really overcome that per se. It's something I work towards overcoming in each situation in which it raises its ugly head. I think sometimes it's not always fear of necessarily of not doing so well, although that would be one that would creep in certain areas, but it's also sometimes the fear of succeeding. And what does that look like? So yeah, I think that is one thing to kind of just get out of my own head. I always say, I say this a lot. So it's like one of those things that, you try to intake it, and apply it to yourself. And, you try to give yourself advice. Because I think I do give some pretty good advice to others. I just like to follow some of it myself with people, So, but I would say definitely fear overall is something I'm continually overcoming in certain things. But the success part sometimes, because you're like, what happens when you do get there, right? You envision all these things and you got to be ready for whatever's to come. And I think we're programmed to think sometimes that fear is connected to just failure. And I like to just say, look, if you can get out of the way of talking about failure as being failure and changing it to a challenge, then it gives you kind of an inspiration to take some action to change, right? So, when you say failure, that kind of just makes me like, oh, that defeats the purpose. I'm not doing anything. There's nothing else to do because I'm not going to, get through this situation or get to whatever I'm trying to achieve. But if you change that around, flip it into a challenge, then it gives you like, oh, okay, a challenge, I can handle a challenge, right? I can sit down, I can strategize, I can kind of come up with some ideas of how I can kind of go over it or go through it or go around it, as I like to share, but get to the other side of it. But yeah, I think that's probably one of the greatest things, really. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That, and maybe also saying no. And, that's the one that I work on often, and not no in a sense of just no, I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to, but really because it's about protecting your own inner peace, because no one's going to protect you as much as you're going to protect you. And although you want to help and do everything for everyone and be there for everything and everyone, there was this quote that I read, and it just really struck me, that if you are always looking to, be there for everybody else all the time, all you're doing is showing those people that you're last on their priority list,
Wow.
Because sometimes, when you are in a position where you are doing that, and I mean, from the authentic heart, right? Not because you feel obligated, just that's just who you are. You're giving, you want to help others and this kind of stuff like that. And you do it at the expense of you and your peace. And it's a lot of times people don't always value that because they just look, I need something and you're here, you're my resource and I need you to do this. So, of course you're going to do it because you always have, right? And so when I read that quote somewhere, it might have been on Instagram actually, it was just really like, hey, one of those like moments, like you just sit back like, yeah, that resonates, where so so bad, but it's true, right? Saying no and saying yes more to myself. Those are things that I definitely try to work and overcome. Yeah. Ooh, that was vulnerable.
Yes, it was.
Look, I like to say we're all in this together. At the end of the day, if we would sit here to pretend that we got everything on lock the way we would like it to be, it's not always the case, right? I mean, there's always
so true.
There's just always room to explore and grow, and everybody's got a little bit of something. Don't let anybody ever think that they have a perfect life or a perfect situation, because we all have our own trials and tribulations, our own challenges, and our own things to work through. Some of us just make it look really good and really, I mean, look, some people step into situations and you're like, oh my God, I would not want to be in that situation. And you wouldn't even know, I admire that trait too. It's that proverbial mask that you put on, because look, at the end of the day, sometimes if you can walk in that confidence, that can help you, small steps if need be, but it can get you to the other side. So I'm all about that. But, don't let anyone ever trick you into thinking that they have a perfect life, because there is no such thing as perfection. Does not exist. So, but we're all, in all honesty and transparency, got to say a lot more yes to me and a lot more no's elsewhere, because
I like that. I like that a lot.
So I gotta put that on a t-shirt. All right, so let's see. Oh, this has been so fun.
Yes, it has.
I think it's been a really nice way of really kind of breaking the ice about ourselves a little bit, and just kind of, it's kind of nice to have just more out there for, everybody in the community to kind of, just, I don't know, vibe with. So it's really cool. I'm enjoying this. It's like fun. Like, I should have been a news reporter, honestly. Or interviewer, maybe more. Because this is a lot of fun. It really is. And that's a lot of work too, by the way. So let's see. What is all right, you ready for a doozy?
Yes.
Okay. What's the most valuable thing you've learned in life?
I would say that the most valuable thing that I've learned in life up to this point of my life is that you should always want to live a life that allows you to be a positive influence on somebody else. I think a lot of times we do things in life and we don't necessarily think about what the repercussions are. We don't necessarily think about who's going to be impacted. We don't always think, well, if I do this today, what's going to happen tomorrow? So, as I've made some mistakes, as I have gone through some challenges, looking back and reflecting as how I want to do better moving forward in the future, that's definitely one of the things that I am working towards. This year, my word of encouragement to myself is to make sure that I'm being intentional about everything that I do, to be purposeful about everything that I do. So allowing myself to do that helps me to stay focused and to remain driven as to what I believe that my goals are going to be for this year. And it just has really just encouraged me, because it's so easy to get off track. It's so easy to get distracted. It's so easy to let the cares of this world just to literally weigh you down to the ground.
Absolutely.
But when I think about giving up, when I think about throwing in the towel, there's always something in the back of my mind that says, you know what, somebody's watching you and somebody needs you to get up, to dust yourself off, because they're looking at you. Because if you can make it through this, you're going to be able to bring somebody else with you just because you said yes.
Absolutely.
So, it's interesting because even yesterday, I had a really, really rough day yesterday. And I was sharing with you a little bit about how I felt yesterday. I just felt so drained. And when I finished my day, I was literally in tears, just in tears. But I was able to kind of push my way through it, because, I thought about, if I stop now, if I stop right now, it will be easy to stop right now. It takes work to keep going when you don't feel like it.
Yes.
But if I stop right now, what is it that I'm not going to accomplish? Who is it that's not going to be impacted? Who is it that maybe needs to hear what I have to say or see what I do for them to be able to overcome? So when you start thinking in that in that realm, it really kind of helps you say, wait a minute, everything I'm doing is not just for me.
Yeah.
I got to stop being selfish and think, okay, wait a minute. I have an impact on other people's lives, whether I like it or not. And sometimes, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't want to be that role model. I don't want to be that person that somebody else is looking at, but that's just the way it is. People are looking at me and they're looking to see, how is she going to respond to that? Yes. How is she going to really respond to that? If she is who she says she is, what's going to be her response? So yes, absolutely. I would definitely say that's been the greatest thing that I have learned.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. And it's so true. You never know who is watching you, right? And it's one of those things that you may be inspiring people and you just don't ever know. And a lot of times people may be looking at you like, ooh, how are you going to get out of that one? How you gonna do that, And I don't think that you should necessarily, by saying that, do things for any other person, but it's, just that element, people are watching how you rise to the occasion,
Absolutely.
So I think that is, that's mentorship in itself.
Yes, it is.
You're doing that, so whether you like it or not, that is what we are, at that time, definitely, and I tell you what, you just took us to church and I love every bit of it. I'm telling you, that's like, look, everybody, I told you she's the truth here. I love it. I can listen to you talk about those type of things all the time, because it's so empowering. It really is. And when you're thinking that, oh my gosh, I'm having a hard time here. I'm having a rough go at things. And, so easy to look at somebody else's situation, and they're always going to be somebody who's going through something harder and rougher than you and unimaginable to what you're dealing with. So, it's nice to know that we're all in this together, and kind of uplift and be kind, always walk in that path, because you never know what anybody's going through. And like I was sharing earlier, people are really good at wearing masks. And they're really good at being able to show you something else, and you wouldn't even know the kind of battles they're fighting. So, it's just, I love that. I really do. That is, that's so inspiring. Like, can you please bottle that up? You know what I mean? I want to wear that all day. Honestly, my gosh, because I tell you what, we need it. We need
Yes,
it.
we do. We do. We really do.
We do. With everything that's currently going on right now, I feel like, oh my gosh, just, prayers to everybody, because there is so much going on right now, so many challenges that are going on right now, so many unimaginable things going on right now. And so I really do hope that this, few minutes out of your day, everyone, that this has been just a moment, just kind of step away from that, and just kind of take some time to regroup as we all go back and get glued back to the news and everything else that's happening, including what's going on in our own personal lives. So I'm so glad, Mia, that you came on.
Yes, I'm so glad to be here with the Motivation Suite community. Yes.
I'm so happy that you came on, and I hope that you will come back.
I would love to come back anytime you would like to have me. I will definitely be here.
Y'all heard that? It's done. Somebody get the manager. Yeah, so they book her all the time. No, I'm just so glad that we got a chance to do this. We have been friends for a really long time. So to be able to really have these conversations, and honestly, even though there might be some things that I may have an idea about things, I do feel like I still learned something, about you. And it's not how that is. It's funny how that goes, right?
It is. It is.
But there are so many things that we got to talk about. There's so many things that I think we should share our opinions and our thoughts about. And, I really want to just come back together in this community block party here and get together and just talk and chat. And there's so many things that we just got to cover, because, look, we just need to talk. Honestly, this to me is like a letter back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Just there's just so much going on. And, I just hope that, that we can just have many more opportunities to do this. So I thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And again, everybody in the community, please make sure that you check out my comment. I always want to say comment section, because I don't know why I keep forgetting what platform I'm on, but I know what platform I'm on, right? I know. But everything's going to be in the description area. And it's running down on the screen, so you can see that too. Make sure you follow Mia, and got her Instagram out there, which is Mia Miller, because she's Mia Miller. One and only. And, of course, CEO and founder of WDOT, doing her thing, empowering women, and we love that. We need that. Thank you. We're so blessed for that. So make sure you check out that link. I've got it running down the bottom of the screen as well. And it will also be in the description area as well. So, Mia, do you have any parting words for the community before you ta-ta?
Well, this has just been a fun time and uplifting time. I hope that all of the listening audience was able to laugh with us, was able to groove with us, was able to just kind of reflect with us. And I'm just so glad that we were able to have this time together. And to the community, continue to stay motivated, continue to stay uplifted, stay positive.
Yes, I love that. And I champion that, and ditto. All right, buddy, we are out of here. Please be blessed. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves as well as others, as always. Stay empowered, stay uplifted. And we love you. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.